Gitau on the bottom right of your screen. So now, the selection of junior secondary schools by grade 6 learners will be conducted for 2 weeks beginning August 15th to 30th, when Kenya National Examinations Council, that is NEC, will open the grade 6 assessment portal. But even as the government released their JAS placement guidelines, the Ministry of Education failed to show whether the traditional placement of learners in national, extra-county, county and sub-county schools will retain the current structure as is with Form 1 selection and placement.
The Kenya National Examination Council (NEC) says the national summative exams for the grade 6 learners ahead of their transition to junior secondary will be administered at the end of November.
NEC will administer the inaugural summative assessment to the first CBC grade 6 cohort from 28th to 30th of November 2022. The assessment shall contribute 40% to the final reporting as learners transition to junior secondary school, while the school-based assessments will account for 60% of the final score.
The grade 6 learners will be examined in 5 papers, tackling 13 learning areas, with each paper scored out of 100%. Transition of learners to junior secondary school will be guided by the assessment outcomes of the Kenya Primary School Education Assessment (KPSEA), which will be a combination of the learner scores attained from the school-based assessments administered at grades 4, 5 and 6, and the national summative assessment to be administered in November.
So for grade 4, assessment 20%, 5, 20%, 6, 20%, and the summative assessment 40%. So you can see that CBC is removing the premium of an examination.
One critical departure, however, from the traditional placement criteria is that for the first time, the government will place learners into private schools. According to the placement guidelines, learners will be offered placement in all existing registered public and private secondary schools, and that they will have the opportunity to select a public or private secondary school of their choice for their JSS education, although parents will meet the cost of their children learning in private schools.
Existing registered public and private secondary schools will not require to be registered again to offer junior secondary school education.
The most basic for registration is a laboratory. So I know quite a number of our schools have put up facilities like classrooms, but most of them have not put up laboratories.
As private schools, we are not going to be exorbitant. We will charge them almost and around the figures we have been charging them. So they should relax and know that the schools shall be friendly.
There are about 27 private primary schools across the country, among them Good Testimony, Rockfield Junior Schools, Happyland Preparatory, Fadhili Junior School and the Golden Elite Junior School, which have been licensed to host junior secondary.
We are very happy today with the CS pronouncement and pronouncing Good Testimony Junior School in Nyayo Estate Embakasi as junior secondary school. We are very ready to admit.
We are going to decongest the crowding that we have currently in public high schools. And 3, we are now giving the parents an opportunity to choose where they want their children to be.
Selection for admission will be on merit, equity or affirmative action, choice of schools by learners and institutional declared capacity. However, the guidance do not speak directly to the question of secondary school categorization of national, extra-county, county and sub-county schools. While the guidelines say selection of schools will be a collaboration between learners, teachers and parents, it is not clear whether parents have had enough sensitization. Shadrach Miti, KTN News.
Right, so meanwhile, Kenyans should see more retailers drop the price of unga in the next